Hello everyone, Wilson here. Welcome back to another video. So I'm off to Brands Hatch Indy Circuit today for my first track day in my SLK55 AMG, and it's also the first time that I'm going to Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. So I've done plenty of track days in the past, but obviously this will be a new experience, new car, new track for me. It's a short circuit, 1.2 miles, so with only 5 corners, so hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to learn, I think, but obviously there's lots of technicalities in it as well, which I'll find out later. So first things first, let's do the prerequisites. So preparation. So what have I prepared? So obviously helmet. They won't let you on the track with that, and your full driving license obviously. I will be taking my pump. Obviously I'll be checking the pressures as we proceed throughout the day. That's important. iCar soft diagnostics to reset any faults should anything occur on limp mode, etc. Safety, I'll be taking a fire extinguisher, and this is mandatory, your towing eye hook, so that needs to be attached to your front of your car in case you break down or accident or whatever. I've got this puncture repair kit, so it's a plug kit basically, so this will be emergency use should I have a puncture, just to get me home, because obviously, as you know, SLKs, well my one anyway, doesn't have a spare tyre, and I'm not a fan of pumping up that gunk into the wheel as well. And lastly is my torque wrench. Obviously I'll be checking the torques now before, you know, cold temperature, cold tyres before I get on the track, so I'll be checking all that, and also the tyre pressures I'll be checking before I head out. So let's crack on. Right, we're here, Brands Hatch Circuit. Right, let's check in. Right, here we are, lovely Brands Hatch. The weather is cloudy. Hopefully it stays, I don't mind a bit of a wet, but you know, if it stays, you know, dry for the first half and wet, I don't mind a bit of wet driving. Quite fancy that. So let's park up and go and check in. Right, check this out for the V8 fuel consumption. Not bad at all. Cylinder deactivation technology, and that's what you get. That was cruising around 70 miles an hour on around the M25, so really impressed with that. Right, just had a noise test static done on my car. It read 89 dB static, so that's pretty quiet actually, even though I have a X-pipe mod done on my exhaust. So I've got to sign in now at the Paddock office and then do all the briefing, etc. So you've got cars coming down from Paddock Hill over there, and look at this massive elevation going all the way down and then up again to Drudes. That's Drudes chicane over there at the top, and then around Drudes, and then you come down again on the other side. So massive elevation change here. Doesn't look like it on TV, but yeah, can't wait. So we're just going out for our sighting laps to get familiarised with the circuit. One thing I must say, my dash cam malfunctioned during the whole track day experience, which meant all my clips were fragmented into 20 or 30 second clips. So I've done my best to put all the clips together as best as I could, but I do apologise if the footage looks out of place throughout this whole entire video. it fast. Right, I'm going in now. I'm gonna have a race. Right, don't know if you can see behind me. Red flag's come out. Someone's ditched it, I think. I've been out already for about 10-minute session. It's not a bad track to learn, but however, I was getting overtaken by a lot of quick cars out there. There's a lot of bear in mind my car weighs 1600 kilos, so I was struggling to understeer. It was understeering like mad, so I had to slow down a bit. But yeah, I did okay. I didn't spin. That's the main thing. But yeah, hopefully the next session I'll start building up my confidence and go a little bit faster. Car's in. Brakes seems to be okay actually. It's not steaming. No brake fade, that's good, but like again, I wasn't pushing that hard. The handling is quite neutral. It's quite neutral. I did have the ESP on all the time. I will try and turn it off later, obviously as I build up confidence and familiarity of the track. See in the distance over there, looks like there's recovery trucks and ambulances or whatever in the distance, so someone's definitely come off over there. Right, I'm ready to go out again. This time I'm going to put it in sport handling mode. So let's see how we get on with sport handling mode, and then later I'm going to try ESP completely off. Right, let's go. Well, that was an event. So I joined, did a couple of laps, and then an MG spun right in front of me. Got it all on camera. I hope he's all right. I think they had to red flag it, so we all came back in. So I was one passenger lighter, so the car was a little bit more nimble. And plus the fact that I put it in sport handling mode, so not ESP wasn't completely off, but I had a lot more rotation coming out of the corners, so it will let me slide, which I liked. It still kind of restricted me, but not as much as when I had it on full ESP. So yeah, so that was really, really fun. The next time I'm going to go out, I'm going to try ESP off. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but let's try ESP off and see if it improves the fun factor. So let's run through the specs of my car. So it's more or less box standard, to be honest, with the exception of a resonator delete, an X-pipe. So I'm running Continental Sport 5S's all round, which seems to be doing the job once they get warmed up. Standard AMG brakes, 4-pot calipers at the front, and standard single pot AMG brakes at the rear. Standard suspensions, so not the P30 package, so no limited slip diff. It's a little bit soft, but it's okay. I mean, obviously, you know, we need to use it on the road as well, so that's a good compromise. Engine wise, it's a 5.5 litre normally aspirated V8, pumps out 420 brake with 400 foot-pounds of torque. So it does have manual shifting, so it actually will hold gears on the red line, which is a great improvement from the 171. The gearbox provides a lovely throttle blip on the downshift on manual mode as well, so that's quite nice sounding as well earlier. Right, okay, let's head out. This time I'm going to disable the magic button. So the magic button is ESP off. Hold it down. Come on, there you go. Everything off. Right, wish me luck. Right, I got a bit carried away there. I was going to go out for a 10-minute session. It ended up going out for about 20 minutes, and then that's it, 8 o'clock finish. Completely worn the tyres out. What was it like with ESP off? To be honest, I couldn't tell the difference between sport handling and ESP, simply because I didn't take it to the limit to brake traction or anything. So I think sport handling was a good compromise. You know, it kept it in the safe parameters, but I really enjoyed it. The tyres, I don't know if you can have a look. The tyres, they look a bit melted. Still plenty of tread left, but all melted, but I'm sure that will sort itself out. Right, yeah, so what's my verdict on Brands Hatch? It's a technical circuit. Although it's only 5 corners, it's taken me a good number of laps to get the hang of it. I only really pushed it on the last session, but that was fun. Brilliant course, brilliant track, sorry. Definitely would come back again. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, got some admirers on my car. Yeah, definitely would come back. Probably would need, I mean, brakes are fine actually. The brakes held up, absolutely no issues whatsoever, no fade. So, and you know, thumbs up for AMG brakes. I mean, standard pads, everything. So the suspension can be a little bit soft, but I think, you know, for a road car, that's a good compromise. So anyway, I'm going to head off now. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.